Wait, did it do it? Okay. Okay, yeah, we're live. Okay, wait a minute. Let me set this shit up. Okay. So, I decided to do a late night stream. I've been tackling this damn hair for I don't know how freaking long, and I finally got somewhere with it. So, I did a thing, and I took my dreads out. It's been a long time coming, and as I was doing my hair, I figured that I should come on when I'm done and, you know, share this message that came to mind. You know, I felt like as I let go of my dreads, and thank you so much, as I let go of my hair, my dreads have become a part of my personality. And I know that sounds crazy, right? But it's the truth. My dreads became a part of my personality, and I felt like I really wasn't me without them. And I guess there's a little bit of sentimentality that goes into that as well, you know, just because I've had them for so long. You know, it took me months to make those dreads, and you know, I had them for a long time. Still have them, but you know, I decided to take them out, let my hair breathe, and yeah, as I let them go, I felt like I was shedding an old part of me energetically. And so as I was doing my hair, I kind of felt like I was starting to come into my natural state, if that makes sense. Like, those were more of an extension of myself, and I felt like I wasn't really letting myself be free and to move on and to do something fresh and new. Now, I know I'm just talking about hair, you know, but it's very symbolic in nature. And since this is, thank you so much, you guys. now I'm even happier that I took the step to do something new. Yeah, a message came to mind. I was going off on a tangent there and forgot where I was going for a second, but what came to mind was that now is the time more than ever to let go of anything that is added weight, added baggage. And since it is the lunar eclipse and the full moon is in Aquarius this evening. And boy, do I feel those energies revving up. Like right now, I just felt like, I don't know if that's you guys and me feeling y'all, or if that's me feeling the moon, or if it's all of that, all of the above. But it's a very powerful time. I always love full moons because, hell, my name used to be Luna Moon. That was my nickname back in the day. You know, I gave it to myself, but, you know, I'm in love with the moon. And I do believe that it affects our behavior, since it is basically all about that gravitational pull, you know what I mean? But, you know, I definitely feel like emotions are running high. You know, for quite some time, I've been feeling like I've been drained. I feel like there was a lot of weight. Thank you so much, you guys. There was just a lot of weight on me. And, guys, I have new commands as well. Hopefully Nightbot should be making an appearance. It should be. Nightbot, where the hell are you? There we go. Okay. There's another thing, you guys. I've also done some new things with my stream and just trying to shake things up a little bit. You know, I'm getting tired of letting the outside world or the outside energies affect me. And that's really what's been holding me back in regards to these readings. Now, best believe we will be getting to those readings. And I wanted to do something tonight where we could have a full moon reading. I felt like it was definitely due. So there was something as well, like a little story time I wanted to share with you guys that really just kind of like grinds my gears a little bit, which kind of like pushed me to do this, because I felt like I, holding on to old things, old styles, old, modes of living and old paradigms. I just felt like I kept, good God, excuse me, I am live, Instagram. I just felt like I was definitely attracting, the same old energies. Thank you so much, you guys. And by the way, you guys, if you guys do not know, I did make an Instagram finally. Good God, I'm dying. Let me try not to die. Okay, we're good. Now, there was an incident that I had ran into where a couple of guys had made it very apparent that they wanted to be with me. And, after I told you guys about fraudulent and C-SPAN, I'm finally putting those scenarios and those people to rest for good. Okay, C-SPAN is no longer making an appearance. Although C-SPAN did want to come and get up in these guts, but we're not going to talk about that because your girl turned him down. I felt like it was time to let that go. Like, if you couldn't value me while you were with me, then, why even go there? So C-SPAN is off in wherever the hell he is. And fraudulent is still being fraudulent. He's still doing the same old bullshit. He isn't growing. He's over almost 40 years old, staying in the mind of a child. And I have been so adamant about helping all these people and wanting to be there for people that I ended up draining myself. I ended up neglecting myself. I ended up, just kind of putting my needs last, and wait, Mike Easy said TMI. No, it's not TMI. We are adults here. I don't even care. But no, I just felt like, I was tired of going out of my way to help all these other people when really, wait, who timed out? What? Oh, Paula was timed out. What did Paula say? I'm sorry, sweetie. I don't know. Nightbot is very strict, you guys. I'm gonna give you forewarning. Nightbot said, "What? Did you think I was gone forever?" Really, Nightbot? We're gonna do this tonight? Okay. So, anyways, yeah. I just felt like, man, I'm tired of going out of my way for people that wouldn't even lift a finger for me. I'm tired of going back to old relationships just because in the moment I'm feeling alone. And so, yeah, fraudulent is no longer in my head, my heart, or in my life, I just felt like it was time to make it known. I finally spoke with fraudulent like weeks ago, and I was just like, look, dude, I'm tired of you manipulating me and trying to play off my feelings. There was something that he said as well during this conversation. What if I told you that I was going to cry right now? And I said, who says stuff like that? I said, that sounds like somebody that's a psychopath. It sounds like somebody that's narcissistic. And he was like, no, the people that don't say that are the ones that are psychopaths. So I said, okay, so wait, I want you to pause on that, fraudulent. So you mean to tell me that the people that don't warn people that they're about to cry, which is not genuine, nobody who's genuinely about to cry goes, hey, what if I told you I'm gonna cry? What? I said, so you're saying because I don't forewarn people because I'm being genuine and I'd simply just cry, you're saying that I'm the one that's crazy? I said, look at that logic. Then there were some things where he was telling me that, since I've told him I understand about programming and people, where, when you're raised with people that, Caramel Delight, Nightbot, you really, You really gotta stop it, bro. Let me fix Nightbot real quick, you guys. Let me pause before I even get into the, because Nightbot is doing too damn much. Okay, let's see. So, what? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Wait. What? Okay. I see what happened, y'all. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to wait. What is this? Oh, excess symbols. We're gonna disable that so you guys can continue to do. I think it's like whenever y'all do emojis, multiple emojis, it starts tripping out. Okay, so Nightbot is fixed. Let's get back to the story. So I was talking to Fraudulent. And, you know, I was explaining that I understand how programming works, you know, when we're raised in a certain environment or when we're taught certain things, you know, during our developmental stages, that, of course, it's going to take some unlearning and, you know, relearning some new habits or just, you know, unlearning what you've learned, okay, and then trying to implement some new behavioral patterns. And so I guess he took that and ran with it, because then Fraudulent proceeded to say, when I asked him, why do you like to be controlling? Why do you think that that's okay? Why is it that every time I have something to say, I never get any credit, but I always give you credit? Why is it that when, you know, I'm saying, well, you know, every time I tell you something or I'm teaching you something, and then, you know, you regurgitate it back to me as though you were the one that had the original thought, when I know damn well I was the one that told you originally. That's where you got this shit from. And then when I call you out on it and say that, you know, you learned a lot from me, then you want to get upset or get all prideful and, you know, say, oh, well, you know, that maybe I have, maybe I haven't. What do you mean maybe? No, there's no freaking maybe, dude. You've learned a shitload from me, and obviously it's not sticking. There's something going on. There's something that's not sticking. Okay? The knowledge, the wisdom, it just falls off like water off of, you know, off a duck's back. Just whoosh, nothing. No retaining, nothing. But then you come back with this psychobabble bullshit that you may have heard me say, and then you try and use it against me as though I'm not seeing what you're doing. And so I said, why do you do stuff like that? Why is it okay, you know, for you to feel like it's cool for you to try to control or manipulate or force your way of thinking and your, you know, your ideas and stuff like that? Why do you feel the need to push that on people? And he was like, well, programming, you know, it's programming. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and break it down to him like this. So I said, okay, so programming. I said, look, so you mean to tell me, let's say that you're a murderer, right? And you're in a court of law, and the judge asks you, hey, Fraudulent, you know, why did you do this heinous crime? And then you stood up, bold-faced, and said, because of programming. Do you think that the judge would lock you up and throw away the key? Or do you think he'd be like, you know what? Programming, I totally understand that. You know, we're going to go ahead and dismiss this case. I apologize to all the families that are suffering due to this person's negligence. You know, but programming, right? I said, if everybody went around using that damn excuse about freaking programming, we would have some psycho people running around. And he was like, oh, come on. I said, no, I know that you didn't murder anybody. I'm just using that as an example. If you are negligent for some sort of behavioral, like, flaw, you can't go around using excuses like programming. Well, you better get unprogrammed. And then it's like every time I would have to tell Fraudulent, hey, Fraudulent, you're coming off this way. Hey, you're coming off condescending. Hey, you're trying to push your views on me. You know, why don't you ever think of these things on your own? Why don't you ever think, how would I feel if somebody did this to me? The fact that you don't think that on your own, the fact that I have to point shit out to you, that's concerning. That's not good. I said, you're too old. You're almost 40 years old. You're too old to be doing these things. I said, I'm not your mom. It's not my responsibility to parent you or to teach you these things. So, look, I love watching my faces, you guys, because I remember I was telling you guys while I'm looking at the live, it's delayed, so it's funny to watch my own facial expressions. But anyways, yeah, so I kicked Fraudulent's ass to the curb. There was one time that Fraudulent, when I first told you guys about Fraudulent, he actually had the gall when I went back and you know, explained everything instead of staying angry. He had the nerve and the gall to say, well, you know, it was kind of cool that you were talking about me. Okay, but nobody was talking about you in a good way. So you're happy that people now know that you're fraudulent? You know, like, who says stuff like that? That doesn't even make any sense. So basically all you want is attention. That's it. He would do things like, literally, we'd be on the phone and I'm like taking a minute, you know, I'm chilling, smoking my tobacco or whatever. Or, you know, I'm rolling up something, and here he goes just making all kinds of noise, like a literal child, you know, singing or doing weird, you know, just stuff that would bring attention to oneself. It was constant, and I picked up on that. Sonia said, your hair, did you take your dreads out? Yeah, I took my dreads out. Yeah, I decided it was time to let my hair out, man. I have some pretty hair, so I figured I just didn't want to do the damn work. It takes, I don't know how freaking long to do my damn hair, but I guess it's worth it. But yeah, you know, I just feel like all these people, C-SPAN, fraudulent, you know, I'm tired of staying stuck in that kind of paradigm where I'm constantly having to go back and forth and to, you know, explain common sense. If you find yourself having to explain to somebody that is a full-grown adult what they should or should not be doing, that's a problem. That is something that will not be fixed over time, unfortunately. And I found myself getting wrapped up in that. And so now I've gotten to the point to where I haven't talked to anybody. But then moving on to the guys that have made it very well known that they want to be with me. This isn't to brag. I'm speaking out on what I've been dealing with lately. There were multiple guys that wanted to be with me, and I went out on a date with one of them. He's a Taurus. He seemed okay, you know, he seemed like he was on the up and up, but I think he has some issues, you know, that you know, I guess weren't really, made apparent when we first started talking, let's just put it that way. And although he's a nice guy, I feel like there's a lot of things that he's still battling with, that I myself have decided to remove myself from, such as, you know, the party life, stuff like that. I no longer do that stuff. I've also figured that's just not, it was never me. It's not that it's not me anymore, it was never me. You know, during the time when I was partying and doing all that, I was running for myself. I'm not running anymore. So I kind of feel like he's still stuck in that. But I also felt like, too, like, there was something there that made me feel like something wasn't on the up and up. Kay Harwell, my sign is Capricorn Sun, Pisces Moon, Virgo Rising, and Sagittarius Venus. There you go. But yeah, it's like, you know, I just felt like that person, you know, we'll call him, what are we gonna call him? Okay, we're gonna call the first guy Hippy Dippy. Okay, that's very fitting for his personality. So Hippy Dippy, okay, he seemed nice, but he has a lot of stuff that's going on, and you know, I just didn't feel that real spark. I felt like he was trying to get physical before really establishing some kind of real relationship as well. Like, I felt like that he was trying to make a move a couple times, and you know, I'm not one to be a prude, you know, it's nothing like that, but you know, if I'm not with you, I don't have to do a damn thing with you, whether you took me out on a date and dropped $1,000 or whatever. I don't care, you know, if I don't feel like, you know, that's in the cards for us, we're not gonna do it, you know. But it just seemed like that was his end goal, was how I ended up feeling. So I just kind of like shut that down. Then there's another guy that I'm talking to. We'll call him Anime, okay, because me and him both love anime, but that's very fitting for him too. So Anime, we're still talking. He's a Pisces, right? Well, to me, he says that we've been talking since I was living the party life, so 8 years ago. And he made it very apparent that he wanted to be with me, and it was out of nowhere. I was just kind of like, well, where the hell were you when, you know, whatever, like, where were you at, you know? And so that placed doubt in my mind. Then he started telling me that he likes to play with demons, and that really didn't sit right with me, because I've been involved with shapeshifters, like some real deal shit. Excuse my French. I've dealt with that, and I never want to deal with that again. And so when he told me that, then he, you know, proceeded to explain, when I told him that it set off alarm bells in my mind. He was like, well, I captured them so they don't do harm to people, which to me doesn't really make any sense. Like the saying goes, believe nothing that you hear and only half of what you see. So there's that. But I'm trying to have faith in him, because he seems like a really nice guy. He seems to handle my abandonment issues, and, you know, having dealt with abuse and having dealt with, you know, cheating and horrible relationships in the past, sociopaths, narcissists, stuff like that, psychopaths, narcopaths. You know, I feel like he's done a good job dealing with that. But maybe it is just me. Like, maybe I feel like, you know, in order for me to find what I'm genuinely looking for, and this goes for everybody, you know, working on oneself is where it's at, you know what I mean? And a part of me still kind of feels like that's what I need to do, but yet these people are coming out full force and, you know, telling me, you know, what they feel and all this stuff. But then he told me that he has a pet. We had this agreement where, you know, we're not together, but we won't let anyone else sway each other from the other. So, which I did, because then I told Hippy Dippy, after we got back from our date, I was like, you know what, because he tried to make another move, and I was like, look, I'm talking to somebody. I said, I gotta be real with you. And I told Anime, you know, and Anime was like, you know, okay, well, I understand, I'm glad you're being honest with me, blah, blah, blah. And he literally, like, Anime hates C-SPAN, dude. Like, C-SPAN is even Fraudulent doesn't like C-SPAN. Fraudulent has no room not to like anybody, but he doesn't even like C-SPAN. So that should tell you guys something. I've dealt with not 8 years with him, but I've dealt with years of crap from him, and I just took it. And I went back and looked at one of my old profiles, and I was just like, wow, dude. Wow, why did I stay? Why did I stay? I'm over here being fearful of this person. Why the hell did I stay in the first place? That's on me. I can't even be mad at anybody else anymore, because I chose to stay. I did not value myself. But now that I do, you know, now I'm looking at everybody with the side eye. You know what I mean? Like, extra side eye, like, what? And so, anyways, so this other dude, we're going to call him, hold on, let me see. Let me think this one out. Because I really don't mess with this dude like that. Like, we were Facebook friends for a while, but we never really talked. So that should kind of tell you, like, where we stood. We weren't really friends. We've never met in real life. You know, aside speaking on an occasional Facebook post, you know, that was it. But let's see, what should we call him? We'll call him... Okay, we'll call him Bullshitza. So, Bullshitter. Okay, so Mr. Bullshit. that's just the best. I mean, because you guys are going to see why his name is Bullshitter. Okay, so Bullshitter had the nerve to hit me up. Sonia said, how long have I been single? I've been single since, Well, I've been with a couple people since C-SPAN, believe it or not. I would say, I think I dated someone, at the, when did I date? I dated a Scorpio, which didn't last long, because that energy was too much, but, when was that? Back in, I think it was still cold. Yeah, I think it was still cold, so it might have been like January, February. So since then, damn, it might have been earlier than that. I don't know. I think, you know what, it was before my birthday, so it was sometime at the end of last year. So not even a full year yet. But I was single for 2 years before that guy. And anyways, you know, bullshitter hit me up talking about, you know, hey, I got this, you know, I want to make this YouTube channel. You know, I've come up with some ideas. I'd love to have your help with it. I'll pay you, how much did he say he'd pay me? He'd pay me $25 an hour for 10 to 15 hours a week. Okay, so guys, do the math, okay? Let's start with the minimum. Okay, so that's $250 a week. If I did 10 hours, right? 10 hours a week. $250 a week. Which would turn out to be basically $1,000, if not maybe a little bit more or a little bit less at the end of the month. So that's not even realistic. When I did the math, I was just like, this is not realistic. But I was going to see what he was going to talk about, and then I would ask my questions along the way, because he wanted to have a webcam chat. So he said, you know, he asked me what time I want to do the meeting, and we do the meeting, and I said I wanted to do it at 1 p.m. I was ready to go. I'd messaged him right at 1 p.m. Usually I'm late, you know, so this was a huge feat for me. And I hit him up right at 1, and he didn't hit me up until like 15 minutes after. So I was like, second red flag. Can't even, you sitting up here, bringing the proposition to me, and you can't even be on time. So that doesn't show me that you're serious. Then, I don't even think this person had on clothing, like, to be real with you. And he kept switching the camera from, like, you know, the face cam to the to the regular cam, to the face cam to the regular cam. And then I was just kind of like getting irritated by that, because I was just like, what, what is the purpose of him doing all of that, right? So he continues to talk and run his mouth, something that a lot of people seem to be extremely good at. And he just kept talking, and I'm just sitting there like, damn, when is the part about the business coming up, And so then I'm just sitting there thinking, let me just listen to him and see what he has to say. So he's going on and on. He's showing me this little raggedy little whatever, and of his list of ideas. And he said he didn't even have an idea for a brand, which to me, if you're trying to do some YouTube stuff, you should already come correct. That's how I feel. If you're gonna do business, if I'm gonna do business with somebody, A, be on time, B, wear adequate clothing if we're gonna be on webcam chat, C, have your shit together, have your business model together. Don't have me do a meeting and then waste my time, with your bullshit. Hence why he's called bullshitter. So moving on. So then, I was, he finished saying what he was going to say, and there were a couple times where he kind of cut me off. And I let him have the floor, because I was like, whatever, I'm just trying to get to the part about the money, right? So then I was just like, well, look, when I start saying what I'm about to say, because you're asking me a question about how you're starting to, how can you make money off of YouTube? I've been on YouTube for about a year. I may not know everything, but I've studied this a little bit. I've studied the algorithm, and since it's always changing, you can't really always know where to pinpoint things. But there are certain ways where you can kind of, like the likes, for example, they get you into suggested and recommended. And, if certain times where you upload, and just different things like that, your tags and what's in the description and all this other stuff, right? So I was trying to tell him, in order for you to make any kind of ad revenue, okay, you're gonna have to like get up to like, I was trying to tell him you're gonna have to get up to 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 views, 10,000 lifetime views, and 4,000 watch time minutes. Okay, within 30 days. You have to have all of that now. They changed it. When I started YouTube, you didn't have to have all that. But then, you know, then when they switched it up, it was in the middle of when I just started. So I almost didn't have that ad revenue. So I had to wait until I got to 10,000 lifetime views or 10,000 channel views and stuff and go from there. So I was trying to explain that to him, right? But I said, before I even started, I said a disclaimer saying, look, because he already cut me off a couple times. I said, look, go ahead and let me finish what I'm trying to say and do not interrupt me. And so he was like, all right. And so I said one sentence, tell him that, you know, YouTube is always changing. He goes, oh, yeah, you know, like Instagram and da-da-da. I hung up. I don't care about the money. I told him, look, let me tell you something. I said, first of all, you're extremely unprofessional. You're egotistical. I couldn't even get a word in edgewise. I can't work. You were unprepared. I can't work with someone like that. And you know what he proceeds to tell me? Well, that's cool. I would have tried to F you anyway. And I said, no, you wouldn't, because I'm not interested. And then I blocked him. Then he proceeds to come onto my YouTube channel. And then he puts a comment talking about, well, why did you block me, weirdo? Trying to look like a victim. Okay, I already told you I wasn't interested. You're over here telling me about your fiance and how you try to be faithful to her. You know, obviously not. You know, then you start saying that you always get hit on. Well, not today, because I'm not hitting on you. I'm not attracted to you, and I'm not in the slightest interested. You don't even have me mentally. Like, I'm completely turned off from you. But you're still, like, going, after you saw that I blocked you. I'm very quick with the block button. I don't have time for BS, okay? He proceeds to leave that comment. I block him on my YouTube. Because there's a way to do that. Trolls, if you're listening, I got that blockety on deck. Okay? Block that. Then he sends me an email. And I'm like, this dude is either psychotic, retarded, or desperate, or all three. I'm opting for the all three option. Right? Not to be an a-hole, but who cares? Because screw it. I'm a smart ass and I don't care. But if one would think that you would get the hint, bullshitter, that I'm not with your bullshit, don't care about your bullshit, don't even care about your money. Guys, if a girl says, I don't even care about your money, do whatever you do, blah, 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 that should be a telltale sign that there's nothing you could do. Some females will just take the money and they may not be attracted to you, but they'll take the money. That's not me. I don't even care. Keep what you got. And stay the hell away from me. One would think that you would understand that. Okay, so after dealing with all these scenarios, right? And I just got through, recovering and resting. I felt like I had to sleep for weeks for a long time there. Because I was, I felt like I was unlearning all of the things that I've grown up to know, like I've always, I was born into not being able to trust anybody. I can't trust anybody in my family. I would like to reconcile and work things out and speak in a civilized manner. But, I know myself as well. I'm still hurt. There are a lot of things that I'm still healing from. And I'm sure that there are some things that I've done in my past to hurt my parents as well. None of us are perfect. But I don't have a problem admitting to my mistakes. You know what I mean? And I think that's just the big barrier between me and a lot of people. When I want to talk to them and level with them, it's like they're more focused on their ego or their pride, and they just can't admit being wrong, or they can't admit their F-ups, you know, so they try and put it on other people. So I've been trying to recover from all of that. I've been trying to recover from, you know, horrible relationships, horrible friendships, and now I've gotten to the point to where I feel like, you know, I'm stronger now, and I feel like I can release everything that I've ever known, you know, with confidence that, you know, I will do better and find better, you know, hence, you know, this whole situation of, you know, the very symbolic nature of just shedding the old, out with the old, in with the new, you know, in every sense of the word, you know, like even people that I used to like rock with for like years, like I'm not the same person. You know, I don't party anymore. I don't drink like that. I don't, you know, I really don't want to smoke anymore, you know, so we're working on that, right? But one step at a time, right? But, you know, it seems like now is a good time to let it all go and to unlearn everything that I've ever known. And I feel like that could be a message in there for you guys if you guys have been dealing with anybody that's been pulling you in every which way. You know, you have all these people that, you know, you may not be feeling whole, you know, entirely. You know, maybe you just feel tired, or maybe you just, you know, you want to be interested in someone but you're really not. That has a lot to do with just you know, in the middle of going through your process, you know what I mean? Like, you're having to shed the old and you know, sprout your wings when it comes time for you to do so. But, you know, sometimes I feel like people are more of a distraction than they are a benefit. You know what I mean? When it comes to certain friendships or certain, you know, scenarios. So, you know, whatever you feel has become a part of you, just know that even though certain things may have come to an end, just know that there was a divine reason behind it. It was all in divine timing. And I've had to remind myself of that for a long time, you know. But having that faith and that trust in divine timing is really vital for you to get through anything that you may be dealing with that is a perceived loss for you, you know. Anything that may have been, you know, draining you. If you feel drained, if you feel like you need to sleep for a week, sleep, you know. I mean, yeah, you may have to go to work and take care of your business, but if you need to rest and unplug and get away from social media, which right now I'm, you know, as you guys can see, I haven't really been on anything, you know, not on Facebook, you know, I may have an Instagram, but, you know, I'm not really on there unless I'm like posting, hey, I'm about to do reading or, you know, whatever. I don't really use it anymore. I feel like that is also a distraction. It's made to bring people down. You know, you always end up seeing something negative or seeing some kind of drama on there. You know, it's very draining. You know, I haven't even been going out, you know, like that. I really don't feel like doing groceries, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? And the bare minimum is what I've been doing. Like, I've literally been holed up in my cocoon, my figurative cocoon that is my home. And you know, some days I felt like, damn, you know, I didn't really feel like I'd be able to get back up and to you know, to move forward and to succeed. And I didn't really feel like, you know, I was deserving of anything good, because I was looking back on my life and, you know, analyzing all the mistakes and, you know, all this stuff. But now I've gotten to the point to where, you know, it is what it is, man. And I'm a lot happier without bullshitter, you know, people like bullshitter, people like C-SPAN, fraudulent, you know. Life has become that much better. Like, it just, you know, it just is. At first it didn't seem that way because that was everything I felt like I'd known, you know. I spent all day talking to fraudulent. Like, every day we would talk. But now it's like certain relationships just get to a point to where it's just simply addiction. That's all it is. It's you know, and I would find myself going back to scenarios where it's like, dude, you know that this situation doesn't make you happy, and you know that you shouldn't be going back. Like, as you're going back, you're thinking to yourself, you shouldn't be doing that, but you're doing it anyway. That should tell you that, you know, there's something that's not healthy with that. You know, that's not really a bond that's built on trust and all this stuff. You know, that you know, a relationship needs to be built on. You know, if it's built on lies, which everything I've ever come to know, I've found out is a lie. And that's all of us. It's not just me. It's all of you too. I'm sure that you guys are finding some stuff out, whether it's your whole life or just certain aspects of it where all of it was a lie. And now you're like, well, what the hell do I do now? How do I know what's truth? How do I know what's fake? And that's where intuition comes in. That's, matter of fact, let me back up and stop putting intuition before God. You know, that's what God is for. And then you can utilize that intuition. You can speak with God to figure out if you know, whatever needs to be revealed to you is revealed to you. And that's what helped me out. You know, it's like learning a new habit takes 21 days. You could do anything, you know, for 21 days. You can do anything you want to do. Reading, writing, art, doing hair. I used to want to do hair. I used to dance, sing, make music. You know, I used to be an author, you know, a poet, all these different things. I mean, it's not I used to be, but I just haven't gotten back into the groove of these things, you know. Having, you know, allowed myself to become distracted with all of these other people and their problems and trying to maintain a relationship that only I was doing all the work. That's what saps you dry. That's what drains you. That's what creates a lot of confusion. And then going back to it. You can't allow yourself to go back to anything out of loneliness, and that's the hardest things. That's the hardest thing, is to just release, you know, and to start fresh, because then fear starts to set in and you're like, well, if this didn't work out, then I have no more hope, you know, and you know, this person really understood me and blah, blah, blah. Well, sometimes we run into narcissists, and sometimes we just come to the conclusion that we fell in love with ourselves to begin with. These people were mirroring you, which is, you know, a lot of my experiences with a lot of people. I noticed that they were mirroring me. They weren't really showing me who they were. I feel like that's a big red flag. So, you know, me starting on the topic of my hair and going into the story time is all relative, because, you know, all of this is meant to aid you in your healing. Now, I did want to do a reading here for you guys. Moving on, I'm not going to stay on that topic for forever, but I did want to do a quick full moon reading for those of you in the room. So let's go ahead and get into that. I'm not going to do it individually. I'm just going to do it as a group. So we'll pull 3 cards and we'll see what comes up. And I'm sure that I'll definitely be able to see every situation, whatever you guys may be dealing with, okay? Alright, let's move this back a little bit. Okay. Gods and goddesses, the creator of us all, what messages do you have for all zodiac signs for this evening? What messages need to come through to us all during this full moon? And you know, I can feel these energies. I mean, I just keep getting these waves and bursts of energy, and it's almost 2 in the morning where I'm at. This is not normal. Usually I'm in bed by 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I'm watching some conspiracy videos. That's what I've been hooked on lately. I've been watching the scariest movie ever. I've been watching, you know, although I myself am not Christian. You know, I do believe I feel like I'm leaning more towards believing in Jesus again. You know, I felt like for a long time, after, you know, some of the things that I've looked into and researched regarding the Bible, and finding out that there were things that were taken out of it and things that were put into it that are not necessarily 100% truthful. But I do believe that there is Christ consciousness. And I've been watching, you know, some Christian conspiracy channels such as The Vigilant Christian, A Call for an Uprising, and, you know, I just have been looking into what's been going on in our society as a whole. And at first it scared the living crap out of me. It really did. And it left me feeling hopeless, and it left me feeling like we're all doomed, because there's so many people that are blinded. They're blinded by celebrities and Gucci this and, you know, Gucci that, and, you know, I'm always going on vacation, and, you know, all the, you know, eyebrows on fleek and all this stuff that doesn't matter, money that doesn't matter, and literally money is worth nothing. Money, like, we chase money all of our lives and it is worth nothing, and it just makes me feel like, well, what the hell am I fighting for? So that's what I've been watching lately, and, you know, I've been kind of pulling back from that as well, just because it's like, you know, you can't it's kind of like fear porn, you know, you can't go down that kind of rabbit hole, you know what I mean? You can't go down the rabbit hole too far, because then it's just endless, and it saps you dry. But it is good to stay informed. It's good to do your research, you know, and it all started with that experience of mine with the reptilian energy, and it just went on from there. But now I really feel like I have the armor of Christ on my side. I have the armor of God on my side. You know, I've been kind of questioning the tarot thing as well, just because, you know, of course, in the Bible, even though, you know, again, I'm not a professed Christian, you know, there are some things in there that do make sense. And, you know, I'm really hoping that, you know, tarot and you know, my spell work is not leading my spirit down the wrong path, right? So, but I also believe in, you know, since I do have a lot of Native American in my family, I have Spanish in my family, you know, we have one card coming out, you guys. I have a lot of mixtures in my blood that are directly associated with living off of the land, right? So this is good. So far we have all uprights. I love this. Yeah, living off of the land. So it's like, while I'm looking at the Bible, right, and hearing these people recite these verses, it's like, well, dang, what about, you know, what about living off of the land? You know, is smoking and doing all this other stuff, is this really good for my spirit? And is this really, you know, where I need to be going? And therein lies where the confusion really stems from, especially, you know, and I definitely feel like, there should be a level middle ground, you know. Hey, you guys, thank you so much, Nicole. I really appreciate that. I'm glad to have you guys here, guys. You know, I have this new thing on my stream as well, by the way, where if you guys donate, or if you guys want to do super chat or something like that, even to those of you that, let's say you guys watch this video and you hit subscribe, the notifications will come up. And then if you guys have like a message with your donation, it'll read it out loud. Okay, like I tested this stuff on the last stream, so just to let you guys know for future reference. Okay, so I'm going to cut the deck here. We have so far the Six of Wands and the Strength card. So I definitely feel like there's something going on where some of you are dealing with issues with your relationships and your family situations, where there may be a little bit of a lack of healing for you. And there may be a lack of understanding with those around you. So there could be some issues as well with, you know, you feeling as though, you know, you're scatterbrained. There's a lot on your mind, and you know, there's a lot of impulsive words either on your behalf or on someone else's behalf. I see some air energy with that as well. So you could be, some of you are dealing with an air sign that is very impulsive in nature. Maybe you guys have been saying things impulsively, or acting impulsively, or you're dealing with people that have been. But I definitely see that you guys, regardless, you're standing your ground. You have a lot of people around you that are competing with you, but right now y'all are at the top of the hill. We're at the top of the hill. You're standing your ground, even if people are not seeing eye to eye with you, even though people are not, you know, people are not really working with you, and they're not really, you know, trying to cooperate and to collaborate, then, you know, I definitely feel like you guys are not letting that deter you, basically, right? So there is something here where, and it's funny because remember I told you guys I was dealing with someone. We're gonna puff while we do this. We're gonna puff while we explain this. What I see here is, and we're gonna do some clarifiers as well. So far, I see Leo with the Strength card. I see Scorpio with the Death reversed. I saw Air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius with that Knight of Swords reversed as well. So these are the elements that may be providing some of these energies for you guys. There's also some references that include friendships, relationships, workplace even, where there may be some issues financially for some of you where, you know, you guys may have a limited amount of funds. You guys may just be doing some temporary work. Some of you guys may have started your own business and things may not have been getting off of the ground as quickly as you would like, which it doesn't necessarily mean that it won't get up off of the ground, but it's not getting up off of the ground as quickly as you'd like. But you guys are definitely pulling back because I see multiple sevens here. You guys are seeking solace and solitude, and you're standing your ground and you're forging forward regardless of whether people agree with you or support you or not, which is a good energy to have. With this Six of Wands, you know, in the past, you guys have been finally coming into a, you know, your own. You're feeling more confident with yourself. You're starting to see that you're making progress. I also feel as though there could be some bystanders that are looking at your successes, okay? And there could be some issues with jealousy involved with these things. Hence why people are coming at you all kinds of ways, right? But presently, we are all exhibiting the strength. We are being subtle in our strength. We're not forcing things. We're not being forceful or overbearing. We're not letting pride get the better of us. You know, you're remaining patient. You're remaining still. But then we come into the Death reverse. Some of you guys may be dealing with energies where someone is not letting something go. Someone's not letting something end. There's a lack of transformative energies, and it could be with this Scorpio individual. It could be someone of these signs that I've already, you know, listed here that is feeling held back, or they're resisting changes. Someone is resisting change here. Some of you are dealing with someone who is just very impulsive. They're not going to change. That's why there's lack of healing. There's jealousy involved with your successes. People are just opposing you just for the sake of opposing you. They're opposing you just because they see what you're doing, whoever this is. I don't feel like anyone in this room. It could be if you guys are, you know, if someone is a Scorpio in here per se, There may be something that you have not let go of. You're not letting it end. And there's a lack of transformation. But that's not to say that things are just doom and gloom from there, from there. Six of Wands. So we have, again, with another Swords reversed. Knave of Swords reversed. So, I definitely feel like there's a lot of people that you're blocking communication with. And I know this rings true for me for sure. Blocking communication. You're tired of dealing with people that just tell you things that they think that you want to hear. They don't ever follow through on anything that they say they're going to do. They say one thing, they do another. And I definitely feel like someone on the outside looking in is very anxious. Someone is dealing with a lot of depression due to you blocking communication. And I definitely feel like, if you guys are dealing with some anxiety, it could be due to you guys continuing a relationship with someone that, you feel is not really for you. You don't really want them in your life, but maybe you're keeping them there because they've been there so long, or maybe you're waiting to see things change. But if this situation has been like this for quite some time, it does appear that this person is not going with the program. Not at all. And I feel like the air signs more so need to really watch, how you respond. Maybe you guys should just work on responding rather than reacting. Maybe there's someone else, that you're dealing with specifically for air signs where there's just a lot of anxiety. Strength. So we have the Four of Chalices. There's definitely someone here that is making an offer to you, or you're receiving some sort of offer. This could be, some sort of love thing or friendship, or they're offering something to you that you're really not quite pleased with. You're really you don't feel anything at all about it. You're really apathetic. I definitely feel like you guys are taking some time to go inward, though, to really figure out why you're feeling this way, or why, there's anxiety and all of these different things that are still on your mind. There's something that needs to be released. And maybe you guys did release a relationship or a situation that was no longer serving you, but it's still on your mind. So I do see completed karmic cycles. And I did see that, especially since I know that Mercury retrograde lasts until, I believe August 19th. So, we have quite some time to go through these energies. So I definitely feel like, it comes to mind that Mercury retrograde may be causing communication issues. And that's where all this, instability and anxiety is coming in, because there seems to be a lot of people dealing with depression and sadness and pain that just hasn't been released. And I feel like that's more so what needs to be shed, because right now we have 3 major arcana here. Okay? And I definitely feel like this completed karmic cycle is starting to move forward, right? It's starting to manifest in the mind, but it hasn't necessarily come to full fruition. Things are still coming to fruition. Whatever things you guys have been dealing with that you've been feeling like it's very cyclical, you're going through the same things over and over and over, and you try to change things, but it just seems like it just keeps happening, same situations, but with just different faces, and you're wondering why that is and how to stop it and where it comes from. And some of you guys may be feeling as though you're cursed, or feeling as though there are people outside of you that may be you know, influencing some of these negative things, you know, manifesting in your life. Or maybe it's you and your way of thinking, and, you know, your mind being all over the place and you not being still, that's manifesting these, you know, unstable energies here. But I definitely feel like, you know, with all of this that's going on, you know, I feel like I need to tell somebody in this room, shit or get off the pot. You know what I mean? If you want to move forward with somebody, then move forward with them. But if you don't feel right about it, then don't analyze why you don't feel right, and just go forward with it. You know, maybe there's a reason why it doesn't feel right. Now let's move on to clarifying the Death reversed. Very interesting. Wow. And again with that Seven of Pentacles reversed. Yep. So you guys are definitely shifting. It's not happening very quickly, but you guys are definitely shifting. And the process may be slower for others than for, you know, it may be slower for you than it is for others, rather, right? But with this Scorpio, for the Scorpios in here, you know, I definitely feel like, you know, some of you guys are dealing with a Gemini here. Some of you guys may have just made a decision in regards to a third-party situation where, you know, somebody is really not, they're not faithful. They like to cheat. There is no love there. And right now, not for public. I'm not reading for any signs. I'm reading for everybody. That is very, you know, it's able to be done. So this message, since you're in here, for those of you that are in here, and for those of you that are going to view this video later, this message is definitely for you. There are a lot of messages here. With that Seven of Pentacles reversed again, I definitely feel like, you know, there's a lack of healing. There's issues with money. Those of you dealing with third-party situations, if things straightened up for a brief moment, it's going to go right back. It's going to go right back to what it was. For those of you dealing with issues within the family, there could be some people, friends, family, relationships, everybody, where you're having to stand your ground. You're having to stand your ground, and you're having to, you know, put all of this aside. I feel like you guys will be releasing yourself from the past. Air signs, whatever you need to say, say it, and say it now. Be logical. I feel like you guys will be quick-witted. I feel like you guys will push through the anxiety, push through the painful thoughts, the painful memories, push past the people around you that are not on your vibration. They're not on your level. They're not real, right? It may sting. It may sting initially, but I feel like you guys will focus more on yourselves at the end of the day. So maybe some of you guys are still involved with, let's say, a Leo, an air sign, Gemini, specifically for some of you, Scorpio, you know, could be even Taurus. I'm pulling more cards as I'm going because I feel compelled to pull more cards here. And I feel like whatever you guys need to say, I feel like this goes for all signs, really, though. It doesn't have to just be air signs, but, you know, speak your truth and then cut it off. Because that's what the Queen of Swords does. She's very analytical. She's quick-witted, you know, no-nonsense approach. And it may come off bitter to those around her, but she's not worried about how she's coming off. She's worried about speaking her truth and then cutting it off. So somebody's going to have some choice words for someone because you no longer believe them. They've proven time and time again that they are not trustworthy. This could be family, work, It could even be, people within an organization, some sort of legal issue even. Whatever you guys have been dealing with, or whoever you've been dealing with, keep in mind that it's only temporary. I feel like you guys are focused on wanting something conventional. You're wanting something real. You want to lock it down, some of you. You guys are focusing on your spirituality. You're learning new things. I absolutely love the depiction of the Hierophant with these cards, with this deck here. You're learning. You're exploring. You're learning about mysticism. You're learning about religious things, religion. You're learning all sorts of new things. School, you're going to school, you're going to training. You're trying to learn something new to progress in your career. You want a stable family. You want that sense of wholeness. And I feel like you guys will be receiving quick communication, or some sort of news is coming in. Maybe you guys are traveling for work, traveling, to go to, maybe move somewhere else so you can go to school. You're going on campus, or maybe you're getting, word within a relationship here about somebody's misdeeds. And, the reason why I bring that up is because I see the Ten of Swords sitting here, and this is all about betrayal. Again, things on the mind. So not only did we have the Nine of Swords, we had the Ten of Swords come up. And guys, as I said before about you speaking your truth, you've got to do it. You've got to do what you got to do. It may hurt. It may hurt. It'll hurt a lot. You've been stabbed in the back. You know that things have to end. You know that things cannot continue on as they have been for so long. And it's been so many years of pain for some of you. So many years that you're trying to let go of, you're trying to release. But please bear in mind, although I'm telling you that you are going through your healing process, remember that it is only a process. And sometimes it takes others longer than most, or longer than some. Don't look at how everyone else's situations are coming to fruition, and don't look at oh, this person's this age, and they've got this all figured out, it seems, or this person's older than me or younger than me, or this person's my age and they have it all figured out, and everybody's in a relationship and everybody has this or has that, whatever you're looking at, and you're dealing with all these losses and dealing with people that tell you one thing and do another, and they lie and they cheat and they try and get their way with you, and they bring a lot of anxiety in you, and all they're doing is trying to get what they can get out of you, and they're not willing to change for you. They're not willing to do better as you have been doing all this time, and you finally have to say your truth. Let yourself have time to heal, because this retrograde is no joke. Some of you guys are going to have to go back and, rehash something else. Some of you guys are releasing yourself from the past after having been stuck there for so long. You've been stuck. You've been feeling stuck in a rut. You've been feeling stuck in like you're wallowing in pain. Although you have the will and you have the motivation to want to let go of it all, it just cannot be done by you thinking, hey, I'm going to let it go, and then it just happens. Nothing in life happens that way. Not even our dreams. I mean, think about it. Once we have an idea of what we dream to be, our dream career, our dream relationship, or whatever, it starts off as a thought, but it certainly doesn't, it doesn't happen as fast as the thought has come to you. You get what I'm saying? Like, the thought comes within a split second. Oh my God, a wave of just inspiration, and a wave of just, a flood of ideas, and, all of these, aspirations just welling within you, passionately welling, or passionately just, coming out of you, it just, it doesn't happen as quickly as the idea comes. And I guess that leads to sometimes getting discouraged, or you see somebody else doing the same thing that you may do, may be doing, or, maybe they're in the same field, or maybe they're, maybe they have similar ideas or a similar niche, but it just doesn't, just because they have it doesn't mean that you won't have it. And just because you don't have it now also doesn't mean that you won't ever have it. So the focus on what you don't have becomes the forefront and the source of your pain. It becomes the source of your anxiety. It becomes the source of these scattered thoughts, and you going back to situations that you know are no longer healthy, or you sticking around with people who stab you in the back and incite a lot of these, painful, energies. Releasing the past and moving on. Whether you have closure or not, whether things were supposed to move forward and then they didn't move forward in the way that you thought they did, just trust and believe that your karmic cycle is coming to a close. So by the end of the retrograde, I feel this will all be finalized, and you will get your justice. You will regain your balance. Those of you dealing with the legal battle, dealing with, custody battles, those listening to this message right now, I do see that this will go in your favor, or any sort of settlement or legal battle. Some of you are waiting on financial aid. It will go in your favor. Good fortune will come to you. But if you do not have closure as to why this person did you like this, or why, they do these things, or, why did they lie, or why did they use you? Why did everything that you did to make things right, why wasn't it enough? All of these thoughts have to go. Staying trapped in the pain and trying to protect yourself from it adamantly, which is something that I struggle with myself. These readings are not just for you guys, it's for me too. This is for all of us. Staying in those fearful thoughts and those heavy memories and holding on to the burdens of that baggage and trying to just desperately protect yourself from it ever happening again will only produce more of the same. And that's the funny part. The more you try to protect yourself and shield yourself, and the more that you're adamantly, being analytical and focusing on what someone's saying, and, this, that, and the other, and the details, all of that has to go. It's time to start anew. This has to end. I like seeing the king and the queen upright of swords. I like that. Let's go ahead and kind of put them. Is she looking at him? Yeah, she's looking at him. So ladies, you guys may be speaking to a man here where, you know what? You just got to do what you got to do. You're tired of the cheating. You're tired of the lies. You're not happy. This doesn't bring you joy anymore. It just doesn't. And now, it's time to raise your sword, so to speak. Sever the ties. If you guys need to do a cutting spiritual cords, or cord cutting ritual. Cord cutting ritual. For those of you that may benefit from that, I'm hearing that. That may be very helpful. Cord cutting meditation, I've seen that on YouTube as well. You can find whatever you're looking for, but Moving on will complete all of this. And if you've been holding on to something out of fear, it's time to let it go. If you're holding on to anything or anyone that brings you pain, anyone that does not, you don't really believe what they're saying. You want to believe it, but you can't. You can't. You got to start new. You know, whatever ideas, whatever passions, whatever creative projects you guys are focused on, move forward with that. If you guys haven't really been seeing that many, you know, that much return from your business, you know, then put all of your energy into that rather than letting these external situations drain you. And just avoid the argument and stay hyper focused on your goals. That's basically what I see with all three of these here. I feel like that's more so advice for you guys. Feed your focus. Okay? So, guys, let me know what you think in the chat. How'd you feel about that? Let's see how many people resonate with that. Because I've seen pure silence. And I'm curious because as I was speaking to you guys, it was just kind of like fluid. But I also felt like, you know, I definitely received the message I was meant to get out and all of that, you know. Gotta break the chains, let all negativity let go. Right, exactly. Patience is definitely the key, Paula. I certainly am, and I've been healing in the process. I lit a red candle for action in my root chakra. Furthermore, Aquarius is my 12th house, and excuse me, 12th house, and so many placements in my natal chart are being. Yeah, I totally get that. You know, plus I know that especially with this full moon in Aquarius, I know it could be hitting you in that regard, like all the energies that came up in the reading. I definitely feel like that could be what's shaking things up even more right now. I cannot believe it is almost 2:30, you guys. Thank you so much, Paula. I think it's absolutely awesome that on a Friday night I have you guys with me, and that's amazing. I also have to keep reminding myself of that. So whatever you guys have, where you guys have a source of love and a source of support, even though it may not be from the people that you hoped it would come from, just know that there are people out there, especially me, that loves all of you. I'm here for all of you just as you guys have been here for me. And I think this is a beautiful thing, man. You know, I got so caught up in, you know, the subscribers, and, you know, I'm looking at, you know, Tyler's Tarot or The Quietest Revolution, and they're, you know, they have all these high numbers, and I'm feeling like, well, damn, you know, you start getting discouraged or feeling like, oh, well, maybe I'm not as good or whatever. But it's not even about that. Like, that's not even the purpose behind this channel. The purpose for this channel was to bring a community together, you know, bring like-minded souls together to spread healing and to promote some sense of direction, some sense of light in the darkness that may surround us. We all go through stuff. I'm not the only person that's been through pain, and I know that for sure. You know, hell, all I want to do is give my love to all of you and give my love to the world, because, I mean, I'm going to, you know, I'm not going to be here forever, man. You know what I mean? I don't want to be anyway, you know, with all the crap that's going on today, you know. But, you know, the point is, you know, I'm not going to be here forever. And I wasted so much time in my past worrying about shit that doesn't matter, trying to please people that never mattered, people that aren't even here today, you know, trying to figure out how I can make them love me or do this or do that, and it just, all it did was waste my time. And now, you know, I'm having to play catch up with my own goals and dreams. So, you know, that's what this channel is about, is helping people. If they want the help, they can come get it. You know, if they want the real, like, I'm not trying to knock any other readers. You know, I even see House of Oshun. She's awesome. What's another one? High Vibration. She's pretty cool. Cups of Tarot. She's interesting. Eat, Pray, Love. Or Eat, Pray, Read, or whatever. I don't even think I'm saying that right, but y'all know what I'm talking about. There are even smaller readers, man. Like, I got love for everybody. I've got love for everybody on YouTube, right? You know, like, that's what this is supposed to be for. But look, I feel like I'm talking in circles. You know, I have been smoking, but but no, I definitely want you guys to feel a sense of purpose again, or a sense of self-love, a sense of, like, you know what I mean, like a sense of direction, man. But yeah, let me get my butt off of here, because I'm talking in circles. Yeah, Angelic Ascension's another one. Yeah, she's really cool. I think that's one of them that she has, like, longer readings. I like those though, because she gets real in depth with it, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I like readings like that. Like, yeah, quick readings are convenient, but I like the longer ones. I've even watched Future Forward. Who else? Damn, I know, like, there are a couple that are on the tip of my tongue right now. It's crazy. I even like some of the like the Peace Dealer. I watch a little bit of Dolo the Pilot, man. They may not be tarot, but, you know, they have their own thing. They're trying to awaken people. Wait, Astrolada? Lada? Yeah, I think that's her name, right? I hope I'm saying her name right. I'm sorry if I'm not, but yeah, you know, and then I watch, like, narcissist channels, like Associate Direct, I think is, yeah, Quinn, Inner Integration. I don't know if you guys watch this dude, but Infinite Waters. Peace. Infinite Waters, diving deep once again. We're out here in nature, baby. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Right? Like, I know his whole thing, girl. That's ridiculous. But yeah, man, like, this is cool to be a part of something like this. But yeah, once again, I love you guys so much. Let me go ahead and leave. If you guys ever want to leave a review, I'll put all my information right now. If you guys want to keep up with all of my, you know, my readings and stuff like that, you guys can also go through the review and leave a like on my Facebook. For those of you that want to, oops, I hope it's not on caps lock. Okay, it's not. So for those of you that want my Instagram, go ahead and check that out real quick. Okay. Let me see if I have a subscribe option. So we have the Instagram link coming up right there. Yes, ma'am. Let's see. Did I put that as a command for subscribe? I don't think I did. Did I? Okay, and guys, real quick, everybody in the chat right now, press 1 if you're a gamer. Press 1 if you're a gamer. Let's go. Let's see who's a gamer up in here, because I also have something else to share with you guys. That's pretty cool. Something new. There we go. Let me see. So we have FB, we have Instagram. Oh yeah, those of you that have Discord, here's my Discord link. And for those of you that are into gaming, I haven't seen anybody say anything about that yet, but that's cool. We have my second channel here. I just started it, like, what, maybe a week ago. So if you're down for that shit, then please go subscribe. I think it's really funny because I feel like I'm a new YouTuber all over again, because, you know, I'm starting fresh. That's cool. So we have one person that's into gaming. Okay, well, yeah, definitely check my channel out. I already have a video out. I think I posted on this channel as well, but yeah. Gaming channel. Is there something else? Oh yeah, I already put my Discord, and that should be it, right? I think so. Let me make sure. Look, I'm over here like shameless self-promotion right here. I don't even care. Yeah, I think that's it, right? Yep. Oh yeah, and you know what? Let me just go ahead and put this in the chat too. For those of you that want to book a private reading, my website is BAM here. So there you go, you guys. Thank you so much again for chilling with me, and until next time, you guys, keep your heads up, stay blessed, not stressed. Peace and love. Wait, hold on, wait, shit. Oh, okay, there we go.